When the war started in Ukraine, dozens of South African students had their studies come to an abrupt end. Now, while many of them are now safely back at home, one final year medical student has decided to stay abroad. She spoke to Lindsay Dentlinger about volunteering at a refugee camp and why she's not yet ready to give up completing her degree over there.
32-year-old Ansuria Moodley from Pietermaritzburg arrived in Ukraine in 2020 to finish her medical degree. She had less than 3 months to go to her final exams and graduation when the war broke out.
Everyone was already talking about graduation dresses, parents coming over. We already had our grad team discussing the dinner party that we would have for the parents, and So it's quite close to the end.
But instead, like many citizens of Ukraine, she was also forced to flee.
What would normally take about 10 hours on the train took us 25 hours with rerouting and the train moving really slowly. Everything was black in the train. They blacked it out with bin bags as well during the night. So it was quite real.
After standing at the border for a whole day, she crossed into Slovakia. Initially, her plan was to return to South Africa immediately. But she ended up staying to volunteer at a refugee center along with Spanish medical students.
It's a really emotional time. If I can say, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. And every pair of eyes in there had some story behind it, and pain and confusion and fear, and it's a really real experience. It's palpable when you walk into the room, with the kids and their beautiful eyes, and you just look at them and you feel like I was all the tears in the beginning, and then I kind of just got a little bit stronger, I guess, and then you also realize you have to be strong for them, because if I'm crying and I'm a foreigner, how would they feel,
Having now reached safety, finishing her degree is very much top of mind. But returning to South Africa could prolong her dream.
I feel as if I were to return, I'd be back at square one pretty much. So though I am hopeful and I am writing to South African universities, I kind of already know the feeling around transfer students. So it's kind of keeping me here. I'm going to explore my options in Europe and also look for some work, because I think it's going to take some time before everyone figures out what they are doing for the students who are sort of in limbo now.
While Moodley waits for word from her Ukrainian university about finishing her studies online, she's well aware of the impact this war will have on her lecturers.
One has to also take into consideration the teachers and what they're going through at this point in time. I mean, a lot of my teachers were females. So question is, where are they now as well? It's not, it's not that easy. People might say, okay, it's online classes, it will be easy. But the logistics of it is really something to look at.
With many other South African students in the same boat, Moodley is now hoping to finish her studies at a European university. Lindsay Dentlinger, Cape Town.